Well, we have finally moved on to our second permanent project, and that is getting this ditch covered up with the culvert in it so that we can drive through here and stop taking the neighbor's driveway. Sometimes we feel like he would appreciate it if we didn't use his driveway. So we're going to get this done. Eddie is going to grout the seams of the culverts, and then tomorrow morning we're going to Home Depot to pick up a skid steer to move all this dirt over the culverts so that we can drive through here. This creek really doesn't get that much water unless we're getting a ton of rain, and we actually accidentally made this creek wider than it normally is by driving through it all the time. So I know some people will say the culverts aren't big enough, but we're pretty sure they are, because originally when we moved here, this creek wasn't very wide. So I mean, if it doesn't work out, if we have problems with it in the future, we'll deal with it then. Right now, this is what we can do to make it so we can drive through here without getting the truck stuck in the mud. So that's what we're going to do today.
Too wet. Way too wet. So much for using a trowel. Trying to push it in there into the joint. There. I think that'll do it.
Well, we just suffered Hurricane Fred last night and yesterday, and we just had a little bit of damage. We had a big tree fall across the driveway, so we had to get up this morning and get that cut out of the way and dragged out of the way so that we could go to the store and buy some feed for the animals. The snakes were also looking for shelter out of the rain, I guess, because one was in the quail house and it killed about 4 or 5 quail. That is the 3rd snake that we have got out of the quail house. I don't know what I'm going to do there. We keep losing quail to the snakes. I'm hoping that when we finish putting the siding up, it'll keep them out, but I don't know. Now, the most depressing part of Hurricane Fred is that our new driveway did not survive. We put this culvert in not understanding the amount of water we would get if a hurricane ever came through. This culvert would have been fine for normal creek running through there, but we got so much rain from this hurricane that it washed away all of the dirt. As you can see, the culvert is now out of the ground. This was all covered up. I haven't even edited the video from us doing this yet. We just finished it 3 days ago, and now here it is all unburied again. A lot of the dirt got swept down the creek. So after doing some research, I have found that we need to buy 3 more culverts, 16 feet long. And because this isn't very deep, it's wide, we're going to put another culvert on the back side of this one and then 2 more on the front side so that we keep the ground level where it's supposed to be, but allow more water to go through. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, we wasted $400 on the skid steer to spread all this dirt, so it's going to take some time now before we can afford to buy more culverts and rent another machine in order to redo the driveway. We also have water that runs down the side of the driveway, and some of it right here, some of it crosses the driveway right there. So I'm not really sure how to deal with that, whether we build this up some and then try to slant or slope the edges towards the creek so it'll run down into the creek instead of over the top of the driveway. Our old driveway is totally flooded. It is a mess. There are branches and limbs down everywhere. Other than the tree damage and the driveway, everything else was okay. All of our buildings held up well. Here's the tree that fell across the driveway. You can see we cut a section out right here so that we could get through. But this tree was already broken. It had been leaning this direction for a few weeks now. And so it was leaning like this, and with that storm last night, it came and fell towards this way. So that's how strong the wind was. It went from leaning away from us to coming, swinging around and going straight across the driveway. So it is what it is. We will cut this up. Well, we've cut it into 14-foot sections. We're going to put it on the mill and mill it into 1-inch slabs so that we'll have some siding for the quail house. Hopefully that'll help us with the snake problem. If anybody knows a way to keep snakes out, I'd love to hear it, because every little hole they're getting into, and we're just losing too many quail right now. So this is the aftermath from Hurricane Fred. We got a whole lot of rain and a whole lot of mud. Driveways getting torn up from all the rain and the mud. But okay, so we're gonna do some more cleanup. We're gonna mill up at least 1 more of these logs, or at least 1 of these logs. I need at least 1 more log milled up for the siding for the quail house. I'm thinking I'm gonna need 2, maybe 3. So we're gonna get on that right quick. Day's already mostly over, but I want to get some milled up so we can start working on that quail house, try to keep the snakes out.